Today's the day. Just got to Barnes & Noble. Literally just opened like 5 minutes ago. So we're gonna go in, grab the book, probably order something to drink, and probably just enjoy a chapter or two in the bookstore cafe before I go back home because I'm just so excited. I cannot wait to get my hands and open this book. First update, I am back at home reading just to get a little more comfy. I'm on chapter 12, so without getting into spoilers on what's going on, essentially the story takes place about 2 to 3 days after what happens in book 1. If you know, you know. Which, by the way, I probably won't get into spoilery content until the end of the video to give my thoughts. That way, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. So for right now, we're just gonna be a little vague. But I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you probably read book 1 already, so you know that Peyton is on the run, and we kind of have like a cat and mouse chase going on right now, which is fine. Like, that's to be expected. It's just a little slow paced only because our two main characters are not together, obviously, so we're going back and forth in POV. It's a lot of guilt, a lot of familial obligations and regrets, a lot of things, a lot of emotions. So obviously it's high stakes, but one thing I'm liking in this book so far is we are gonna get different cities. So we're leaving the kingdom of Ilia and we're going to other neighboring cities that I didn't really realize were not allies to Ilia. They're actually, like, nobody likes the kingdom of Ilia. That's something new. So I like that we're getting more into the politics in this book, and I hope we'll see that throughout, not just in the beginning. It just makes things a little more interesting and makes me understand the world a little better. So here's hoping that continues. Another fun thing, which I haven't gotten into yet, but the start of chapter 12, we get Kit. And I'm really excited about that because the end of book 1 was pretty crazy, and the epilogue in book 1 was very tense with Kit. If you read the Red Queen series, you'll know who Kit probably reminds you of, and I'm scared that that's what's gonna happen. I'm not sure if it's gonna give Maven vibes or not. Another thing to mention before I forget is Lauren Roberts uses a lot of imagery in her writing, and to some people it's probably excessive. I don't mind it, but I am noticing it. Like, I've now caught about 3 to 4 alliterations, and I'm on chapter 12. So you can see I have a lot more of the story to go. So she uses a lot of stuff like that. I think it could enhance the writing, but also make it a little try hard. It just depends on how you look at it, I think. So again, I like Lauren Roberts. I liked her writing style in book 1. Very easy to follow. And for YA, I think it was well done. So we're just gonna keep going with it, keep rolling with it, and see if it continues, if it's too much or just enough or whatever. But I just wanted to point that out. Guys, the drama in this book. If you're gonna read this, I suggest snacks because this is a wild ride. Things just got very interesting. I think one of the biggest qualms people have with this book is how tropey it is. I think they're kidding themselves. I think people kid themselves and think that they get annoyed by common tropes. And I think they're kidding themselves because I'm telling you, when it comes on the page, when you see that thing or that scene or that trope happening, you know you like it. Like, you're lying to yourself, you're lying to your friends, your family, your soul. Like, come on. I'm very excited. And in case you can't tell right now, they have caught up to each other. There's just like a lot of back and forth, a lot of fighting, right? It's still a cat and mouse chase. In between that, when they catch up to each other, things are happening. Crimes are being exposed, if you will. So far, so good. It's definitely picking up 100 pages in, so just beware. Not that the beginning is bad, it's just, again, it's one of those things where because they're separated, it's less fun than when they're together. Had to take a quick break to go to the gym because I needed to move my body. I've been reading all day, but we're back and making some chili, just heating it up because I cooked it yesterday. I'm gonna watch an episode of The Office and then regroup, get comfy, and keep reading and finish this book because some stuff has happened since the last time we talked, but I need to gather my thoughts and maybe read a couple more chapters, and then I'll give you another update on where we're at. Chapter 38. 10 out of 10. Also, I feel like the chapters that we're getting with Kit are extremely small and sad, but they're not telling us a whole lot. I have a theory for something that's gonna happen. Maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not. I don't know, but I have a feeling he's gonna do a certain thing, and I just feel like it would be really dumb. I feel like he's lost any courage he's ever had. It's just gone, which is just so sad, and he's so confused. And he doesn't really have anyone right now. I feel like he's on the verge. He has so much capacity to love, but I think he's on the verge of breaking that, whether it's going mad or becoming his father. I don't know yet, but the chapters that we get with him aren't telling me yet what he's gonna do. They're not leaning either way. They're just mid. Just got really intense. It was the twist I wasn't expecting, I think. Holy cow. I think I just read the most beautiful line of the whole book. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's on page 303. It was really sweet. I may cry. I beg your finest pardon. Are you actually kidding me? I'll talk to you later. I need to.
72 hours later.
I have calmed down enough. It's a new day, and I've been able to really think through what I want to say about Reckless, my thoughts, my rating, and then I will get into spoilery content at the very, very end. When I think of a trilogy, I think of a problem in book one, like the central problem. Book two would usually break down things happening in book one. So whether it's the politics, the world, the characters, that kind of thing, to kind of lead us into the falling action, the big climax, the ending, how they're gonna sum everything up in book three. And I think this book did it pretty well, honestly. Like I said, this takes place immediately after what happens at the end of book one with Peyton killing the king, and she's on the run, right? So she's being told by the new king, King Kit, that she's a traitor, she's a king killer, and the enforcer, Kai, has to go chase her and bring her back to Kit and the kingdom. She's on the run. She's like, I'm out. Problem is that everyone has conflicting feelings over these people, right? Peyton is conflicted over the truth she found out about Kai and the feelings that she still has for him. Kit is confused and betrayed over the fact that he found friendship in Peyton and then was betrayed and used in order to get the resistance to infiltrate the palace. Kai obviously is upset because because Peyton killed his dad, but is he happy about it or is he sad about it? You know, there's a lot happening. And this book takes us away from the kingdom of Ilia. It takes us to a new town, a new country. We learn a lot about how the other countries, cities think of Ilia. And I think that says a lot about the lies that were spewed by the first king and what really is the truth, what's going on here. I thought that was really well done. I thought it was fun. And again, this is a YA fantasy, so it's going to be fast-paced. It's going to be really easy to digest. This isn't a fantasy like George R.R. Martin or Brandon Sanderson would write. This is a young adult romantic fantasy. We're focusing on these two main characters, Peyton and Kai, who have really conflicting feelings for each other, and they just had to grow up really fast. These are people that are young, are hurt, are having to do adult things instead of just being kids. I think that's a huge thing with all of the characters in this book. We empathize a lot with these characters. I found myself really feeling for Peyton and all of the emotions that she's going through, her loss, the grief that she's dealing with that she doesn't know how to necessarily vocalize, and the anger that she holds for Kai. There's so much stickiness in this book. And that was really sweet to see because it's just that star-crossed lover's story that is tragic but also beautiful. Things I didn't necessarily love about this book. The beginning I think was a little slower going. Whenever they're not together, I think I get a little bored because I just love when they are together. In the beginning, they're not, right? He's chasing her. So, yeah. But the rest of this book, stuff goes down. That being said, one of the things I also wasn't the biggest fan of is and I will get into some spoilers now, so the things that I'm not necessarily liking, it will have some spoilery content. So if you don't want to watch this, thank you for watching up until this point, but now we're going to talk about some details. The biggest thing I noticed that kind of just took me out of the story a little bit was the amount of times they got caught by people that wanted to catch Peyton for themselves for coin because she had a bounty on her head in these other cities, and time again they're getting caught by, you know, these people that just want her to sell her essentially, and Kai's not having it, so they kind of have to work together even though he's still taking her to Ilia. It was kind of excessive, and I think again it's just showing them working as a team, which is fine, but it was a lot. There was also a lot of imagery in this book that I mentioned earlier, and alliterations I think are fine when they're sprinkled in, but I noticed it multiple times, which again, it kind of took me out of the story because it's like, oh, here's another alliteration. Here's another one. Here's another one. So I don't know, I think it was a little too much. In some instances, I found it to be really pretty writing, and then at other times I thought it was a little try hard. My favorite character though in this book has to be Kai. You know, once again, he was written beautifully. I love every time he speaks to Peyton. It is perfect. It is lovely, and he is so sweet to her, even though he's so conflicted as well for his duty and like what his heart is telling him. I love him so much. And I love that we got backstories on his family, his relationship with Kit, how strained it is, but how, you know, they are really close, and it's really hard to see Kit dealing with having to become king now and not being able to properly grieve for his dad and the conflicting feelings he has for his dad and Peyton, and Kai's just watching it. And that kind of brings me to Kit, because we do get Kit's POV here. I think people are going to be a little annoyed with how short his chapters are. I think that it was intentional because, again, the story is about Peyton and Kai. Kit technically is a side character, but his chapters had me guessing something I got very wrong. There's also a little bit that we still don't know about Kit, right? So we see some things happening within his chapters of him writing things. We see his internal monologue. It's like he's convincing himself that he's not crazy, but if you have to convince yourself you're not crazy, are you crazy? You know? That's to be determined, I think. I don't know. I hope in book 3 we get even more from Kit. In this book, I want book 3 to be really fat, really chunky. This book is it's 374 pages long. We're gonna need like twice that because I really want to dig into the nitty-gritty details of Kit, of Kai, of Peyton, of the resistance, of these cities, and the politics, the truth between the ordinaries and the elites, the mixes, all of it, and how I felt about the ending. Well, you saw my jaw actually dropped. I can't believe I actually caught that on camera, but I was surprised to say the least. I did not think it was going to go that way. I thought Kit was going to announce a proposal to somebody else. I think I'm going to do a reread to try and figure out myself if there are Easter eggs letting us know that he was going to make that decision and why. Like, what's the point? I don't get it. Also, I'm so confused about this man Callum, because we get Callum talking to Kit, but there's also a Callum in the diaries or in this resistance. Are they the same person? So again, I'm a little confused. I'm not sure if it was explicitly stated that these are the same people or not. I don't know. Yeah, very confused. But overall ratings for this book, I did give this a 5 stars. I just loved it so much. Honestly, the things that I didn't like about it are so minuscule. The overall story was exactly what I wanted this to be. It was romantic, it was sad, I cried, I was angry. We got everything. We got flower crowns, we got swimming in a sewer. It was a good time. It was adventurous. I loved it. So yes, I did give this a 5-star rating. I'm so excited. That's pretty much it. If you've read this book, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I will be working on a plot summary for Reckless, so stay tuned for that. If you have a favorite quote, let me know in the comments what it is. I will have mine listed down below as well, just for funsies. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me in this video. I thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe down below or give this video a thumbs up. And until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!